You're on your law of assumption journey, and you might be wondering, what is the best tool to help you stay in alignment with living in the end, knowing that your vision, dreams, and goals are already yours? And there's a lot of different methods out there, and all of them will work if you believe they will work. That's like the beauty of the law of assumption. If you believe it's going to work, then it will work. But if you're like me and you've experienced stress, trauma, anxiety, depression, your brain might need a little bit more support in living in the end or believing that it's even possible to manifest into your reality. There are so many different tools out there, but in this video, I'm going to talk about my favorite and the most impactful, most beneficial tool to help you on your law of assumption journey. If that's something you want to learn more about, stay tuned to the end to hear exactly how you can incorporate and include this in your everyday life. Let's get started. We all know with law of assumption, we need to saturate your mind with living in the end. So things as past tense. For example, if you were wearing a blue shirt, you wouldn't question, where is my blue shirt? Where is my blue shirt? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I love my blue shirt. It's so pretty. It makes my eyes pop, or it works really good with my skin tone or my hair. You're not like, where's my blue shirt? Where's my blue shirt? And a lot of times when we are living in the end, we have what's called limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are like, that's not happening. You don't have that. That's not possible. They can have it, but you can't have it. And those limiting beliefs start to spiral. And those limiting beliefs trigger emotions, which then either trigger action or no action for you. So the tool that I believe is the most powerful on your journey of law of assumption is EFT tapping, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. The reason that this tool is so much more impactful than what I believe even robotic affirmations, which I do use, but I use EFT tapping in a way to set me up for success. So when I'm doing my robotic affirmations, my brain is not rejecting this to be true. My brain is not getting triggered by the 3D reality. My brain is not saying, this isn't real, like danger, danger, trigger, trigger. EFT tapping not only regulates your body, and I'll go into that in a moment, but it allows new beliefs to be the primary thought. So if you can rewire your brain, our brain's pathway through EFT tapping, wouldn't that be the best way to live in alignment with the law of assumption? Because when we start to waver, we start to question, we start to doubt, those are all limiting beliefs of what we believe is possible. And again, the law of assumption is, do you assume it to be true? Then it will come true. So we can release our limiting beliefs. So what you can do is you can start to make a list of what are the reasons you don't believe this could be true. Maybe you don't believe you have the right resources, you started late, or wrong place, wrong time, you don't have the right connections. Those are all limiting beliefs that will block you from believing it's true. With EFT tapping, we can identify the root cause. Where did this belief come from? We can release it. And the cool thing about releasing limiting beliefs with EFT tapping is once we've activated what's called that neural pathway, where that limiting belief kind of lingers and resonates, we can link a new neural pathway to a new belief. I'm in the right place at the right time. Things are always working out for me. I am special, therefore special things fall upon my lap. We can change our belief system through EFT. So here's the number one reason that I am obsessed with EFT tapping in relationship to the law of assumption. So EFT tapping regulates your nervous system, which regulates your body, which puts you in alignment to do the law of assumption belief work. This is something that a lot of manifesting coaches do not talk about. But before we have a thought, we have a physical reaction. So when you get angry, your jaw tightens up, you might get tight fists, your shoulders might get all turtle mode, your chest starts to tighten up. Those are all physical cues that your body is getting angered. Then you second have the thought of anger, then the emotion of anger, and then you either act or you react, right? So you're either like fighting verbally, all those things. So before we even have a thought, is this possible? Our body is already telling us yes or no. So if we're going to be reciting affirmations, such as doing the robotic affirmation, the 10,000 affirmation challenge, but our body's already saying trigger, trigger, no, do not move forward, EFT tapping allows you to regulate your body. So when you're doing the affirmations, not only does the body feel regulated, but when the body feels regulated, it is more likely to believe the affirmations as truth than as I don't have that trigger, tense, anxiety, stress, wavering, uncertainty. And so with the EFT tapping, we can tap on our body, which is going to calm and regulate. You can do a few rounds of tapping before you even repeat your affirmations. And the affirmations that you repeat will rewire your brain much faster if you're in a regulated state versus a stressed, anxious, or even depressed state of mind. The second reason that EFT tapping should be your go-to for the law of assumption is going to release any resistance or any doubt. Okay, so for example, if I said you got $1 million today, where do you feel that physically in your body? Is it no, I didn't, and you got some tightness in your chest? Is it like a sigh of relief and your shoulders pin back? When we hear an affirmation, our body either tightens up, it restricts, or it expands. And when we release the limiting beliefs, the doubts, the resistance, when we encounter new affirmations or new beliefs, the body is more open to receive it versus that restriction or rejection. And so the beauty of EFT tapping, and they're doing so much research on it, you can use EFT tapping to literally rewire your brain. If your brain is so used to seeing the glass as empty or half empty, you can literally rewire your brain to believe the glass is half full, that everything is working out for you, that people, things, experiences are working behind the scenes to make your life easier. And if you're sitting here like, oh my gosh, that's so selfish, that's so self-centered, those are limiting beliefs to believe you cannot have everything you desire. Those are limiting beliefs. If someone says, oh, you have to wait a long time or this or that, those are all limiting beliefs that if you decide to be true, will be true. But when you think about the probability of you being alive right now on Earth, right? I think it's like 1 in a billion, right? The fact that you don't think you are special enough to achieve your goals is a limiting belief because you are so worthy and deserving of everything. All you have to do is give yourself permission to receive it. So EFT tapping allows you to release that resistance, release those limiting beliefs, so that way you can truly focus on, this is what I want, I already have it, and I have to just act as if. I don't need to spend as if I have that money, I just need to act as if. How would I do my morning routine? How would I show up with my friends? How do I carry myself? Those are all ways that you can act as if without spending as if. Okay, number 3 reason why EFT tapping should be your go-to for the law of assumption. With robotic affirmations, it's repetitive in the mind, in the mind, in the body. With repetitive affirmations, it's focusing on the mind, rewiring the brain. But a lot of times we miss a key component, which is regulating the body. And so with EFT tapping, during the law of assumption, right, you're focusing on your goals. Let's say you want to generate $10,000 this month. And your affirmation is, I made $10,000 this month. I made $10,000 this month. EFT tapping allows your body to receive it. And what I mean by your body receiving it is that your body is not getting tense. For example, your booty cheeks don't clench at the idea of receiving a surplus amount of money. And again, the first thing that happens in our body, in our experience, is we have a physical reaction. And it's so subtle that a lot of times we skip and we think we have a thought first, right? Classic CBT, and CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is change your thoughts, change your life. It does thoughts, emotions, actions. But with more research, we are learning about the somatics. And somatics is the body, how the body physically feels. If the body physically feels ready to move forward, ready to receive these new beliefs to be true, it'll be easier for you to change your identity, how you view yourself, how you view the world. And when the body feels safe and the body is regulated, it's going to send a signal to the mind it's safe to move forward. Because when we feel that an affirmation is dangerous, and if you are a trauma survivor, your brain might perceive certain affirmations the same way if you were to see a bear in the wild. It will say, danger, danger, repel, repel, repel. So no matter how many times you say it, you could say it 1,000,000 times. If your body is rejecting that as a safe belief, doesn't matter how many times you recite it. So EFT tapping allows you to regulate the body, regulate the mind, so that way you can live truly in the law of assumption. So I want you to do a little exercise with me. I want you to think about the goal you're working on with the law of assumption. This might be a relationship goal. This might be a money goal. And I want you to think about what is that affirmation that you have been focusing on. And if you don't have an affirmation, you can create one right now. It can be a specific or non-specific goal. Specific could be, I made $10,000 this month. And non-specific would be, I am wealthy, right? 2 money goals, but one is very specific and one is non-specific. So if you need to pause the video to create your affirmation, do that right now. And I want you just to take a deep breath, and I want you to scan your body, and I want you to say the affirmation 1 time. Now ask yourself, do you notice any physical sensation as you said that affirmation? 2 things will happen. You might feel expansive, like more room was created, or you might feel restricted. There is no right or wrong way. But now what we're going to do is some EFT tapping with that affirmation. We're just going to do 4 easy points, and you're just going to repeat the affirmation 1 time on each point. Just mirror me while you repeat your own specific affirmation. So start tapping on the top of your eyebrow and repeat that affirmation. Side of the eye and repeat your affirmation. Under your eye and repeat that affirmation. Collarbone and repeat that affirmation. Beautiful. Release and let it go. Close your eyes and scan your body. Notice how you're feeling and noticing what's coming forward. You probably feel a little bit more expansive, or you might feel a little restricted. The body's like, ooh, we're really moving and shifting some feelings, some emotions. We're really shifting some thoughts, some beliefs in this moment that might be a little bit scary. So EFT tapping, I believe the law of assumption are best friends. Because what you can do is you can literally just tap on your collarbone, your affirmation. And throughout the day, you can just be walking around repeating that, rewiring your brain and rewiring your body to both get on board with living in the end, which is the law of assumption. And I've got you. You are ready to dive into EFT tapping. I have an entire tapping studio with videos that are less than 10 minutes. The power of EFT tapping is that we can shift and release and rewire rapid speeds. So all you need is 10 minutes a day to release any stress, anxiety, depression, heal your trauma, so that way you can step into the version of you who already has everything she desires. It gets to feel fun, it gets to be exciting, and you can enjoy the journey versus focusing on the stress, lack, and scarcity. It is called the Tapping Studio, and it is an easy monthly membership, and you can join in the link down below. Individuals in there have generated so much success through these quick and powerful tappings. And if you want a sneak peek, you can check out my EFT tapping playlist here on the channel to get started on your tapping journey. The law of assumption works because you get to decide it works. And it works because you get to assume that your reality is true, and then everything else will just organize to fit that path. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I cannot wait to see you in our next video of you achieving your success with ease.